Welcome back to Forgotten Working Class Podcast. I am Tiffany.
I'm John.
Today we have with us Brad. Brad, thank you for being with us.
Hey, thank you for having me.
You can find Brad on TikTok at CappedBradP and also online at lockandloadhitch.com. Brad, where are you calling from?
Broken Bow, Oklahoma, here in my home. Have a little horse ranch in Broken Bow, Oklahoma.
Very nice. How old are you?
I'm 47 years old.
Very nice. Are you married? Do you have children?
Married, got one son.
Okay.
Old, he probably the biggest part of me and my wife, both of our lives. So we're excited about that. But he's getting grown, and so that's a new venture for us. So
How old is he?
He's 19.
Okay. Very nice. So, yeah, Brad, you've had an incredible life. I know that you've done quite a bit and you are going very far in your future. So, you want to start and tell us kind of how you grew up and from the beginning?
I grew up here in Broken Bow, Oklahoma, and my mom and dad got married in November of 1975. In 1976, they had me. My mom was 16 years old when she had me, so we grew up together, I guess you could say. So, but my mom, she was a real dreamer, so she kept me. I was always observing her dreams, and so I guess that kind of helped me spur along for me to want to have something good in my life. So I went to my dad worked construction and stuff, so we lived a lot of places in the country over throughout my life. My dad worked oil field jobs, ran cranes. We lived down in South Texas and Western Oklahoma, and where I live here in Oklahoma, we're in the very southeast corner. We're right by Louisiana and Arkansas and Texas. So our closest town to go out to eat is Texarkana. If you want to go to a well-known restaurant like Chili's or something like that, I was in high school by the time we got our first McDonald's.
Wow.
So it's kind of like living on an island where I live here. Whenever I was in high school, my mom and my stepdad at the time, they had started selling Rainbow vacuum cleaners, and they were distributors for that. And so I asked my mom, I said, I think I would kind of like to try to sell these things with y'all. I think she didn't really think that it would be something I could do because I was pretty quiet and country kid, and so, but she gave me a chance and I really excelled at that. So for 7 or 8 years of my life, I spent my time as basically a door-to-door salesman. And so I learned a lot about dealing with people, and I learned a sales trade early in life. But whenever I was a kid, I really wanted to be a pilot. And so I was living in East Texas and had some girlfriend problems and decided that I wanted to go back to college or something and try to chase after my aviation dreams. Well, I made it 12 hours of aviation before I ran out of money. I went into the office and they told me, they said, Mr. Pennington, we know the rules before you started were that you had to have $300 on your books so you could fly, but you have to have you got to have $1,200. Well, I just remember thinking, that's the end of that. So I left their office, and I thought, well, one day I'll just buy my own airplane. And so I did. Me and my brother started a fence business, and that turned into, later on, I started a trash business. And eventually, I bought an airplane, but I didn't have no place to go. And so that always kept me looking for something that would give me a mission. One day it was raining real bad, and I'm sorry, I'm probably not going to do too good at this.
That's all
No, you're
right.
doing it. Take your time.
It was raining real bad, and I trying to switch one ball. I was trying to switch from one to the next, and I was like, why don't they have a way to do this without unlocking all this stuff? And the idea just come to my head, and that's how the lock and load invention came about. You know, I don't. I'm sorry, but I don't even know if I'm gonna be able to get through all of this without being emotional about it.
That's all right.
No,
We're here
you're all
for
right.
it.
You're good.
So, you know, that is the summary of it. But you know, me and my brother had started this fence company, and we didn't have any money. We had $30, and my brother had gotten fired from his job at the golf course because he took some girls out on the golf course at night in the golf carts, and they fired him. And I was working for a landscaper and trying to make enough money to fly and do that thing, and I couldn't make it. And so I told Steve, I said, man, we need to start our own business. And so he said, well, he knew how to build fences, like chain link fences. So we ran an ad in the ran a $30 ad in the paper with all the money we had left. And a lady called us, and she said, y'all come and give me a bid. So we came give her a bid. When we told her, we said, we don't have no money to buy your materials. We'll have to build. You'll have to buy the material. We'll build the fence, and if you like it, you pay us for building it for you. And we built it, and she liked it, and so that's kind of how our business got started. Well, later on in life, we played music. You know, me and my brother had a band, and it was a pretty big band in southeast Oklahoma. Actually, we hit about a 5-state area, and we got invited to Willie Nelson's house to make a record. And the name of our band was the Potential Getaway Drivers. That was, you know, that was an exciting part of our life. For a little while, we had a bus, and Coors sponsored us,
Wow.
and we got to travel around playing music with, and some of our friends, the Turnpike Troubadours, they went on to be big.
Oh yeah.
You know, and so they were part of our traveling group that went with
Really?
it. Yeah, Evan called me when he first started. He called me and he said, Brad, is there any way I could come and open shows for y'all? And I was like, yeah, we'll. He was going to college at Oklahoma. I said, yeah, we'll stop by and we'll pick you up on the bus. Next show we go to. So for about the next year or two, everywhere we went, Evan Filker was our opening act.
That's
So
awesome.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, I love them.
Yeah, and they are good friends. R.C. Edwards, me and him, we actually originally started the little band we had going, and he wrote a lot of the songs that we sing in our band. And we have, you know, on YouTube, if you look up Potential Getaway Drivers, like our most popular song was called Same Sad Song. We got a lot of radio play in Texas and on Texas radio, and you'll still be in places like Florida or somewhere, and somebody will call us and say, hey, I heard y'all song on the radio, you know, so that's kind of cool.
That's so awesome.
But
That's super awesome.
brother got pregnant, and he decided he didn't want to play music anymore. And so when he decided he didn't want to play music anymore, he moved back to Broken Bow, where Eli was going to be, and that's his son. And so it kind of divided us a little bit. And whenever he moved home, he found a piece of property near the river, and he started a river float business. Well, I would come home on the weekends and help him with his river float business. One day I was sitting out by the highway. We had some bad luck. The National Forest ended all drinking in our area on the river. Man, that's a travesty when there's no drinking on a tube. From 100 miles an hour to zero, it kind of hit us pretty hard. And I was sitting there in my chair in the front yard, and I watched the guy go by with his trash truck. People around here, they used to have like a 1991 Chevrolet pickup that they set in their yard, and that's what they'd haul their trash off once a month with. Well, he went by and he was going real slow, and then he comes back by and he's driving crazy, like fast. Well, whenever I wondered why he didn't leave his trash at the green boxes. Here in our county, we had these free dump sites. We don't have, at that time, we had nobody that would come around to pick your trash up. You had to haul your own trash. So the next day, my brother, he sends his employee down to haul our trash off. And the boy comes back and says, man, they told me I can't dump the trash. There's a fence around the green boxes, and the lady says no businesses. So me and my brother, we go down there real quick and talked with her, and sure enough, no businesses. So we tried to rent a dumpster from the city and the county, and nobody had one. So I told Steve, I said, man, I got to buy a trash truck, because if nobody's got a way to haul their trash off, then there's a need for it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I went and talked to my banker, and he said, no, Brad, that's not a good idea. You do not want to be a garbage man. I said, I'm like Dewey Cox. I was like, well, I think I do. I mean, if nobody's got it, you know. If somebody
You don't want none of this. No, I do.
Yeah. So he said, if you can come up with 20% of the price of a garbage truck, I'll loan you the money. So I found a garbage truck for $16,500. Now, mind you, this garbage truck new would cost $300,000. So it was completely wore out, but it had a really nice new paint job on it. So I drove me and my friend of mine that has CDL license. We drove all the way to North Carolina, drove through the night, and we get out there and they see this big automated trash truck. And we asked the kid there if he would demonstrate it for us. So he gets in it and he hits the lever, and it knocks the trash can over, and trash goes everywhere. Oh man, it's not gonna work. So I told him, I said, I'm gonna go eat breakfast. I'll come back. So we're eating breakfast. Roger, my friend, he said, you know, if you get on a backhoe or something and you just pull the lever, it's gonna go wild. And he said, I don't think that kid knew how to run the truck. So I got back and I said, look, can I try to run the truck? And they said, yeah. And so I got and really slowly moved a handle on it. It reached and grabbed the trash can and dumped it. And I was like, oh, this will work. Well, I got to looking, and they said, well, this thing, it only has a 30-gallon fuel tank because it used to run on natural gas. And I was like, man, I wish y'all had told me this stuff before I left Oklahoma, you know, because I was 12 hours away. And then one of them were different tires. So I was scared the tires were going to pop. So I said, y'all have any tires? They said, yeah, we got tires and we got a fuel tank. And I said, now I need y'all to put a trailer hitch on this thing, because I'm going to buy trash cans in Charlotte, North Carolina. And I'm going to pull a U-Haul trailer back with these trash cans in it so I can start my business. And they're like, yeah, if you buy the trailer hitch, I wanted to tell you that story because it involves trailer hitch. This place was called Integrity Truck Sales. So that was an important thing too. So they put the trailer hitch on it, and I headed to the trash can place. When I got there, they said, well, Brad, we think we could fit all of your trash cans in there. My grandmother had loaned me $5,000 to buy trash cans with. And so, and just so happened we got all the trash cans in there. And we headed back to Oklahoma. Well, another thing about this is the tires, the fuel tank, and the trailer hitch, that was going to cost me another $1,500. So I get on the phone with my banker and say, hey, man, I'm going to have $1,500. He said, hey, man, I gave you all I'm going to give you. And so I had to use some of my fuel money to get us home. And I made it all the way to Little Rock, Arkansas. And we had us a stick to measure how much fuel we had in there. And we got the Little Rock. There wasn't enough fuel to make it home. So I called my brother and I said, will you send me some money through MoneyGram at Walmart? And he sent me $250. And I made it home and I had 8 stops my first week. We got probably 15,000 stops this week.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my God, that's incredible. Like, it's just
Like I can see how you're
so
getting
amazing.
emotional because
Yeah.
you went
built it
from
from
nothing.
nothing.
Yes.
From
And
$30 to building fences to, I mean, you're
to
not
taking
even,
a loan.
but you're not even like trying to just benefit yourself. You were helping the whole community that had nowhere to put their trash, and you saw it as that's the opportunity to make a business, and
Right.
Yeah.
that's
And that
incredible.
part, because people here, I tell people all the time, it must have been like selling toilet paper back when they first invented toilet paper. You know, I could just see cowboys sitting around the fire saying, who in the hell would spend money on something to wipe their butt with? Well, people don't want to spend money to get their trash hauled off either. So it was hard to build a business here, but did it. A good business in not only Oklahoma, but Arkansas too. So, you know, and then that built that up really good. And over the years, I had invented some things, you know, and I was always coming up with a lazy guy will find a fast and easy way to do anything, right? So anything that's a hassle, a lazy person, I call myself a lazy person because I always try to find an easier way to do stuff. And so I had some inventions that I couldn't afford to get a patent for. I didn't know how to do that. Well, with the success of my trash business, it allowed me some money that as soon as I seen that invention that it would work, I was able to drive to the a patent attorney right then and say, sign me up, you know. And I was excited, and he was like, well, for $600, I'll tell you if it's patentable or not. He called me back a couple weeks later, and he said, Brad, I think you're onto something. He said, normally utility patents and basic utility design, there's not much of that left that can be patentable, you know.
Right.
But patents now are software patents and oil and gas procedure patents and stuff like that. And so, but anyways, I started this in February of the COVID year, 2020.
So wait, Brad, let me
Yeah.
stop you for a second.
Okay.
Are you still doing the trash business?
Yes. Yes.
How many trucks do you have today?
I have 23 trash trucks and 3 roll-off trucks.
Holy
Yeah,
moly.
you just said that you had 15,000
Yeah,
calls
15,000 stops per week.
per
And so,
week.
you
As
know,
of now?
as of now, yeah, yes, ma'am.
Holy moly.
He started with, what'd you say, 8?
Or it's right in that area. We do a bunch of vacation cabins, about 4,000 vacation cabins that we have to stop at those 3 times per week. And so
Wow.
so it may, my number may be way low, but
How many employees do you have?
yeah. What?
How many employees do you have?
I don't know. I have a lady that works for me, and she is fantastic. Once she started working for me and taking care of my business, everything got a whole lot better. And she handles all employees and everything. And you know, I hate to say it, but I have some employees that I don't even know. You know, I mean, the
That's all right.
trailer hitch thing, and she's taking real good care of it. And through the process, I always wanted to make sure that I had GPS and billing systems and routing systems that allowed me to grow without having to be there. You know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
so I kind of built it in that manner. And she'll call me sometimes if I need to sign a document or, you know, if there's some issue she can't handle. But I'm telling you, she does a way better job at managing a business than I ever could.
That's all right. It's just incredible. Like I wanted to know the whole thing, put all the pieces
It's
together
amazing.
because yeah, going from $30 to now
Yeah.
having 23 trucks and 15,000, you know,
Oh yeah,
accounts.
it's exciting. I mean, it's cool to look back on, and you know, we're building a new office up there now. I told Chantel I wanted her to build it however she wanted it. You know,
When
she
did
think about this. I said, this is your office. I don't really work here. You fix it to work for you. That's what I want you to do. You know,
That's
when did you
awesome.
start the trash truck company?
in 2012.
So
Wow.
from 2012 to
10 years,
now,
12 years. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
That's impressive.
it's very impressive.
All right. So go on. Wait,
Yes.
you're talking about a patent.
All you have to do is find a problem that nobody's solving, and
That's right.
fast, easy way to solve that problem. And hey, we live in America still. No matter who's the president, this is still America.
Yeah, right.
You know, so you just got to find a fast, easy way to solve a problem. So then so what'd you ask about the patent? What?
So $600, you were told you had an incredible idea.
Yeah, and so he did a patent research through the patent library in Washington D.C., and it came back that nobody had patented a trailer hitch with a locking spring pin, and so we made 14 claims in our patent of originality, and all 14 claims were approved. And then he did an awesome job of really, I look at these other guys' patents on other trailer hitches that are in the world, and they got like a paragraph or two explaining the difference. Mine's like 7 or 8 pages long of fine print saying,
oh my goodness.
He looked at it from every angle, and his name is Dennis Brown. If anyone ever needs a good patent attorney, call Dennis Brown in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Best patent lawyer in the United States, I promise you. He does a very thorough, good job.
Awesome. So tell us about this hitch. What does it do?
Well, the number one thing that it does is you don't have to unlock it from your truck. I've got some pictures on a flyer here. I don't know if you can realize that or not, but let me make sure I've got it right side up. And so right there, but you guys might utilize this time to show an actual picture of the trailer hitch.
Yeah, we're going to drop your links and all of that, so they'll be able to see.
Yeah, but the trailer hitch has a spring pin, and so whenever you get ready, if you're on a 2-inch ball and you need a 2 5/16 ball, you just pull the pin and clock it, and the pin locks back into place, and it's like a 1-second procedure. You have your other ball. Also, it has a step on one side so that, like if you need to step up on the back of your pickup or your van or whatever you're driving, it gives you access to that. And it's not when you have to pull a pin and pull them completely out and realign, that's enough hassle not to utilize the step that you have available. Well, mine is so easy that you could switch it from one ball to the step and then back to the ball with no hassle, just completely usable,
How did you think of this?
Well, it was raining one day, and my son had gotten his driver's license, and he kept taking my trailer hitches. Him and his friends would take my trailer hitches off my truck. So I live in a part of the country where we don't really lock our trucks or lock anything. I mean, we've got thieves, but we're still pretty trusting. And I let my son, or he locked. I bought me a lock to lock my new hitch on so he wouldn't take this last one. Well, I did that on a sunny day. Well, then I needed a different ball from that hitch on a rainy day. And I had my good clothes on. And by the time I got it all done, I got completely soaking wet. I got my knees all muddy. I mean, I couldn't have got any wetter and more miserable than it was in February in the rain. And so I was like, in my mind, I was just like, within 10 seconds, I could see that clocking mechanism. I thought about like a boat jack. You know how your boat jack, lock it up and hold it? And so I thought, why couldn't you do that with 4 different positions? And, and that was my idea. So I went and bought me a $700 mag drill. I went by my friend's shop that is a welding shop here in town, and he sold me some pieces of 1-inch flat plate. And I drilled 4 sockets in those 1-inch plate, and I got me a spring and welded me a little pin and a spring inside it. And I made it, and it worked. And my welding didn't look too good, and everything was a little bit off on that, but it proved that it would work.
Yeah.
And then I got my truck that day, and I stopped on the side of Indian Nursing Turnpike between Broken Bow and Tulsa, and leaned my phone against a Sonic Cup, and I videoed me running my trailer hitch, making it work, because I thought, man, this lawyer, he might not ever come out of his building if I don't show him, what I got. And so I showed him a video, and he come outside and he looked at it, and his eyes kind of got big, and he thought, Yeah, I've never seen nothing like that. But he told me, he said, Brad, I was still, when I told you that, I was still thinking that somebody had probably already invented that before. And and he did all the research. We looked at everybody else's patents. We you know, our patent went up against B&W patent pretty good. And but in design, my hitch is just a different design. It uses different uh, way to hold together and everything, and so it just it worked, and you know it's good. And so once I got him, then I had to find somebody to make. I tried to make CAD drawings myself, so I get on Google Sketch, and I did a pretty decent job considering I'm not a computer. I have a hard time turning. So I was able to make balls and everything, but it was slow. And so one of my friends that worked at the parts house here in town, he had been going to college at OSU in the engineering department, and he knew a kid named Tyler King that he said was really smart and good with CAD drawings and stuff. And so Tyler, he while he was in college is when he started helping me do drawings, and he did drawings for my patent. And today he's working on our engineered drawings today for, you know, for this hitch and other inventions that I have in mind that I'm going to bring to light, you know. So
Truly incredible.
Are they aluminum?
no, they're not. The ones in my videos are carbon steel, but those are coated with a product called Tricom. And so we're looking at, you know, utilizing that in our future hitches, but also we're after SEMA, we decided that maybe there's a market for the super high end version, and the super high end version we believe would be stainless steel, completely stainless steel. It won't be cheap, but
No.
it's gonna be like the guy with the Rolex, you know.
Yeah.
You get one, you're gonna pay, but at least you know everybody else will know you paid for it, and you'll know it's a good price, you know. And so we feel like that we want to maybe, you know, for a while to see if we can reach the market of people that have a Yeti type, you know, stuff like that, Rolex, Yeti, Ping golf clubs. You know, you can get a cheaper version or whatever, but if you want to get the best of the best, and it's kind of like we're thinking it could be a status symbol for your vehicle.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Down
I
here,
like that idea.
down here in South Florida, they would eat that up. All these show trucks.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
lots of
So
trucks.
there's so many show trucks coming by. They were like, "Oh man, I wish you would have, you know, made one for my truck or this." So I think next year we'll probably have a bunch of them on those show trucks at SEMA. But you know, this year we had our lonely little booth away from all of the trailer hitches. There was no room in the trailer hitch department, so they put us over. We had the bicycles next to us on one side, and then we had a cargo net on the other side, and a locking box for a Bronco, which were all these products, these people, they're great people. I hope I've made lifelong friends with my booth mates at SEMA. But, you know, so I'm sure a whole bunch of people that went to SEMA never made it past our booth. But the ones that did, I know that I feel like we were one of the booths they'll remember from the 2023 SEMA.
I bet. Where was that held this year?
In Las Vegas. It's in Las Vegas every year. And basically, I was told that the Las Vegas Convention Center was kind of designed around that show because they utilize every square foot of that place. I mean, it's if not the biggest, one of the biggest shows at the Las Vegas Convention Center is the SEMA show.
Super cool.
Yeah, I've wanted to go. I haven't got to go to one yet.
Man, you got to go check it. Here, I'll get you tickets. You can come help me sell trailer hitches.
I'm down. I'll do it.
My plan is for next year, if I can make this all work and get hitches sent out to people, that I want to have an airplane in my booth. I want to be the only booth with an airplane. And when people say, "Why do you have an airplane?" I want to say, "Well, I want to be a pilot."
Very cool. Never forget where you came from. Yep.
Well, also your trailer hitches, you have the option to put a military hitch.
Yeah.
I seen that in the video, and it was so simple and quick.
Yeah, and then, you know, for the military, hey, somebody's shooting at you. You need a fast way to get out of there. So maybe even Uncle Sam might put in an order. You know.
There you go.
Yeah.
What do these hitches start at?
Well, we don't really have a price established. You know, I was selling some of them before at $6.99, but when it all came down, it was costing me $6.75 to build them, and so the price is going to be substantially higher. I know, but it's like I say, it's one of those you purchase it one time, and you'll have what you have. Right now we're dealing with some manufacturers that can handle a large capacity. We built some in a small job shop in Wisconsin, but they're great people and they help me a lot. But I don't think the capacity wise right now that they could handle what we got going on. But hopefully someday in the future, maybe we could reach back to them and give them some of the work or something.
Yeah, you got to outsource properly. I mean,
Yeah,
you're growing and expanding, and you're
Yeah,
doing really,
you're moving up, so
yeah,
it's
doing.
time to get bigger.
and it is hard because the trouble, feelings get hurt, and this
Yeah.
The money side of the deal is not as big to my biggest thing that I look forward to is being at a Cabela's in Kansas City and seeing one of my trailer hitches. I just want
That'd
to
be
see
awesome.
in the wild, I mean, because I make a good living at my trash business, and so this is not necessarily necessary for me to. I don't know that I could live any better life than I live now, as far as money goes, but I know that I could help a whole lot of people have jobs in manufacturing and sales, distribution, trucking, and those are the things that are important to me is to bring more jobs from my idea and to get to see my hitch in the wild. I just can't wait to
Yeah.
see them in the wild.
That's an incredible way to look at it. You're giving jobs to people.
You're helping people.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah. And so, it is, we've got some challenges to go because we got Monday, we had 267 pre-orders on Monday alone. And our pre-orders are going up daily. And so that is a very high number.
Yeah.
Now, whether those people, when we reach back to them, they actually buy our product when they see the price, we don't know. But these people took the time to not only look at my website, but they emailed us. Hey, I want to buy this in a 2.5 inch, or I want to buy it in a 3 inch. And I want to let everybody know through this that if your truck pulls a trailer, we're going to make a hitch that's going to fit your truck.
So awesome.
Don't worry that we're not going to bring a product to market that you're work for you, because we are, but we're new and we're having to do it one step at a time, but we're going to get there.
Awesome. And guys, you can find these hitches on lockandloadhitch.com. And Brad, you're truly incredible.
You're the man.
Another thing I think, just to advertise something else, I wrote a children's book. It's called Fresh
I
Water.
told you about
Yeah,
that.
she was saying about
Yeah.
that.
See, and it's about Jimmy and Bailey Bass. And Jimmy Bass, they live in a small pond. And Jimmy Bass, he's happy with life in a small pond. Now, Bailey Bass, she's kind of bougie. She thinks there's got to be more to life than what's in a small pond. So, but my dad, he was born in the house that's on the book. And I want to show you just a couple pages here.
I love how you have your book, but you don't have your hitch.
Yeah. Amazon and all those printers, Book Baby, the printers will help you. But if these characters are actually me and my son and my wife that are in the book, and you can order this book on any and all sites on. You can get it from Barnes and Noble, Amazon, Walmart, Target, everywhere. But it's really a good story about adversity and because what happens is in the story is the pond dam washes out, and so Jimmy Bass has got to learn to live life, whether he likes it or not. He got to go down the river and figure it out. And so I wrote the story while driving the trash truck. I remember when I was a little boy, I used to think, what would happen to the fish if the pond dam washes out? You never see a bunch of dead fish in the woods or on the ground anywhere. They always follow the path of the water, and they end up making it somewhere, And so this story is a good story about our area here. We live in a tourist town called Broken Bow in Hochatown, and it's a story of our history here in Southeast Oklahoma. And I think that if you go on buy my book, and that helps me in another way, and so I'm really excited. I wrote that and finished it up last year. one of my really good friends, a guitar player in our band, he was the illustrator. So he would draw pictures, and I'd say, "No, make her eyes look a little bit bigger, or this and that." And he would do all of that, and we just come together with a really neat thing. But you can, for $7 on Amazon, you can buy a digital version of it. So right now you can buy that book and read it, or you can order a hardback copy or softback copy. And if you, the best place to order, where I make the most money from it, is if you order from Book Baby Bookstore.
Baby bookstore.
Yeah, Book Baby Bookstore. But you can order it anywhere, and it helps.
Very cool. We're
That's
gonna have
awesome.
to get one for our son.
Yeah, he'd love it.
Well, you both love fishing
Yeah,
too.
I fish all the time.
I read the whole story, and it's got some funny characters in it. So I told these kids that I went to kindergarten and first grade, and I said, I want to read y'all my book. But I got to tell you about myself first. I own a garbage truck. So I pick up people's trash. I said, y'all have any garbage truck that picks up your trash? And they said, oh, yeah, yeah. Well, when I got done, I asked them, I said, which was your favorite character? And the little boy, one of them said, the prize fighter. And he was the villain of the story. And another little girl, she said Bailey Bass was hers. The third person, the little boy, he said the trash truck was my favorite part. A third of the class, the trash truck was their favorite part. No trash trucks in the book, but it's still, it made an impression on those kids. So I guess my next book will have to be about trash truck.
That's awesome.
So incredible. You truly have an amazing story of perseverance.
I appreciate it. I appreciate you guys having me be a part of what you're doing, and I'm proud of you and your success. It's really cool that you're out there making something happen and reaching so many people. I looked at your amount of followers that you have, and what you're doing, and bringing to light people that are out here like me, just trying to make something of the world. And so many people just kick back and don't try to do anything. And so I'm real proud of the Americans that get up every morning and try to do something with their life. Some wake up looking for a problem to solve, and some of us wake up hoping we never see a problem. Be one of those people that embraces a problem, because the problem's where the payday's at.
That's me. That's always me. I always turn some kind of tragedy into something. And it's like you said earlier, you're trying to give jobs back to people, and we're trying to give back to people as well by using this platform as an outlet to share your story.
Yeah.
So we appreciate it. But Brad, during all of this that you're doing, what do you do for fun?
Team rope. Me and my son, we have a roping arena and a whole bunch of horses to feed, and we team rope. So we have fun with that. I got a boat up on the lake. Me and my wife will go. We got a houseboat up there, and we'll go lay around in the water in the summertime and do that. But the majority of what we do these days is team rope.
I love it. I absolutely love it. Is your son involved in all of this?
Yes, yeah. We started him a demolition business as part of the trash business. So he tears down old houses and things like that. One of my dreams whenever he was born is I wanted to help him have a tool to start with, and he's got good tools.
Well, he has an incredible father.
Yeah.
He's very lucky. Your wife is very lucky.
Yes.
What a go-getter you are.
I appreciate it.
His definition of go-getter.
I don't do all this on my own. My wife, like I say, my wife and my team, my workers around me, my family, everybody's very supportive. And most of all, I give credit to God, because he laid the red carpet out for me. Every time I had a problem, he put the solution in front of me. He give me the rain on a day to show me that there was a problem and that we needed to fix it, as far as simple thing as a trailer hitch. And, every day he gives me new problems to solve, and I'm excited about being able to do that for God. I mean, he really does put the wind in my sails in the direction I need to be, because it seems like every time I turn around, I'm exactly where I need to be.
That's how I feel about life. It sucks that we go through these hard times, but they definitely make us stronger, definitely give us inspiration. And that's why we try to, tell to everybody, just because you go through something, you don't have to stay there. Think of something new, try something new.
Yeah. When you're at the bottom, there's no way to go but up, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
I was a true believer, like, selling vacuum cleaners and stuff. You had to stay motivated, because you're going to naturally get 3 or 4 no's for every yes.
Yeah.
It's easier to say no than it is to say yes. And so Zig Ziglar was a real, if you're ever down out and feel like whether you're a salesman or just in work, if you listen to Zig Ziglar for just a little while, man, you'll get excited about life and go to work. And
Absolutely.
oh,
Well,
yeah,
Brad, it was such a pleasure to have you with us.
yeah. Thank you. I hope we got everything covered. That, and I'm sorry about being so emotional. I get that way, but
No, don't be sorry.
just you know, I,
That shows you're passionate about everything you've done.
It shows you're humble.
Yes.
yeah, yeah. And I do. I pray for humbleness all the time because it's easy to feel like you're winning the game and to you know, to lose being humble. I mean, I struggle with that sometimes. That, you know, I enjoy the first class seats as much as anybody. I promise.
You're allowed. You've earned it.
Yeah, I mean, once you've worked for it, everything you've got, then I mean, yeah, you do deserve it.
Yeah. All right. Well, like I say, I appreciate y'all. I don't know how much time we've spent so far, but we've covered everything we can. Or do y'all have any more questions?
No, I think we're good. Are you happy?
Yeah, that was awesome.
All right. Thank y'all. I'll be happy to be back on and tell you progress if you.
Yeah,
Absolutely. We want to hear
yes.
from you again in the future. And you have 2 friends here for life now down in Florida. So if you ever get down here, come see us.
Yeah, we're here.
Me and my wife, we got a big houseboat, and we don't, you know, it's here at home, and so it's just 6 miles up the road, and it's like, you know, you'd rather sleep in your own bed. But we were thinking about moving our houseboat down to the Florida Keys, so that way we have an excellent destination to go to. So if I move it down there, maybe you guys come visit us.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, the Keys ain't that far. Well,
It's a couple hours. It's
Couple
3.5 hours.
Long ways for me.
yeah, it's a little bit longer for you, I would say.
Yeah, yeah. But everything, I mean, I tell people all the time, they're like, you know, they get in a slump of, you know, I feel like I just can't go anywhere. I promise you, all you got to do is find the right problem to solve. If it's picking up trash, you know, there's people became millionaires over daycare business, wiping butts, you know, start your, you know, there's so many things we can do in life that we can scale, that you can scale to become a billionaire if you want to. So, you know, don't give up. Just keep on digging and you know, hard work and perseverance. It never fails to improve your life. You know, if you're having a bad attitude, if you're just depressed, you know, if you get out and mow the yard, it's hard to get real depressed after looking back at a good yard that's been mowed and you're proud that you did, you know, so it's a real medicine to our problems is just hard work and perseverance.
Well, we truly appreciate hearing your story of
Yes.
perseverance. It's what we want to show people. It's what we want to teach the youth out there who are struggling with all this social media nonsense. Their heads are stuck in the phone every day.
Yeah.
And, you know, it takes hard work to make it through life. Life is not easy.
Life's not easy. Yeah, but it's, I'm telling you, man, when you look back at your struggles that you're proud of, if you had nothing but an easy street your whole life, your story wouldn't be much worth listening to. But if
That's
you
very true.
struggle to get through, then that's whenever you can really shine a light and you can testify to people that, hey, I've been there, I've done that, and all you got to do is work hard and treat people right and do your best, and you can win. And but it's important to have the struggle. To, you know, I mean, it's like a racetrack. Who wants to race around on a flat ice track? You know, you need some jumps and turns and a few obstacles in your way to.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, thank you guys.
Thank you. Everyone, again, this is Brad. You can find him on TikTok at CAPT Brad P, or you can check out his awesome hitches at lockandloadhitch.com or his children's book on basically everywhere there is to shop. Brad, you have done
Freshwater Pennington and Captain Brad. That's what they used to call me in a band. And it all started because I was trying to be a pilot. Still don't have my pilot's license. I got 80 hours, but I'm trying to get that finished up. And hopefully next year I'll have my airplane at SEMA and y'all can come by and sit behind the wheel.
Very cool. We have the utmost faith in you. You are determined to do it
Yeah.
all, and just never stop dreaming, please.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. Goodbye.
Have a good one.